going to make a little tutorial for Emperor Rise of the Middle Kingdom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, first of all, how to make the most efficient housing really possible. And then after that, I'm going to show you my basic strategy of play. This is just to see that I've worked out a little bit. Yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and go to an empty map so I can show you how to build this housing structure. So what you want to start out with is you want to put down your marketplace. You know, I like to generally I'll measure out things and size up where I want to put my buildings and whatnot. But I'm just I'm just going to show you how to run this through this real quick. And put your market square down. And important note, inspectors can inspect one extra space over for them. So like an inspector walking down this road can actually inspect this marketplace. It's important to understand that because they can do that same thing with the grand ways. You know, they can inspect over the space, and it's a mechanic that you need for this game to work correctly. It also helps out a lot, so because you could put like a mill over here, which I eventually will do. And then basically we're gonna measure it down. We're gonna have a wall right here. We're gonna have house, and then we're gonna have grand way extending out here, and then this is gonna be where the other walkway is. Now we're gonna go ahead and put the wall in like gray. And the purpose for the wall, if you guys don't know actually, is because it will actually block all negative desirability from passing between these walls. And so that way, like, this has negative desirability, the market square does. And so do all, like, your other production buildings and whatnot. And you want to do it this way, otherwise, if you don't, it'll cause negative desirability to seep into your buildings, and then they won't upgrade to the really nice apartments that you want. And so we're going to go ahead and let the guys through this gate so that the market square people can walk through. And then I always throw down my houses right quick. I do this because my first two, at least these two, because I don't want to build walker buildings next to these, because if you build them right here, they'll end up walking and getting stuck there, and that's, you know, waste. So, and then we're going to go ahead and extend this down. So the point is these need to be 5 wide. Let's see, that's 6 right now, but 5 for 2 houses here. It's going to be a garden down the center, and then another 2 houses, and then we're going to have the other walkway come down this way. Okay, so it's 5, 7 if you really want to think about it. I don't know. And then the next thing is down here is, it's really important to understand that a inspector, which I actually need to throw one up here, otherwise the thing will collapse. Inspectors all the walkers have a walk distance, basically. And after they walk this distance, I mean, there's certain walkers that'll just go straight to one option to the other, but like walkers that only walk a certain distance, like so much like the inspector, whenever they reach their walking distance limit, they'll stop literally right there and then go whatever way is the shortest back to their home base. So like if you just have like a line, you know, and it's like a really long line, you'll notice the inspector will just turn around eventually and come back, you know. And the reason that's important is because we want our guy to make a full loop. We want him to go all the way down and then all the way around. And to exploit this fact, what we're going to do is we're going to make a loop that is just shorter than twice his walk distance, so that he'll make a full loop. Okay? And the shortest walk distance for any of the walkers that we'll use in this area is actually the inspector and the herbologist, I believe. And their short walk distance is 30 paces. So we have 7 on the end, and we wanted this to just be one short of 30. So we're going to have it be 22 down, which is enough for 11 houses. So that's the first 2 right there. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then let's go down a little. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then and then 1, That's exactly how many we need, right? And then we'll have the back side, and it'll come down to here. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my walls all the way around. And remember, we're going to have a grand way, and then we're going to have house, and the wall in the back right there. So we'll go ahead and come around and pull those out. Okay. And then I always put gardens down the center, like I said. This is so it's yeah. Some people would think it's a little waste. You can actually compress it, but actually, if you compress it one, you lose a house on both sides. So by having this one extra space in the center, you get an extra house. So it's kind of nice. And you can't really, if you just took out like these two spaces, you can't extend it one because then you can't put an extra house in. That's only gonna, make it like one more, so it'll still be blocked. And then we're gonna go ahead and do the grand ways. Stop it. And the important thing here is to put do the top side first next to your market square, and then come down here and do one whole side, and then do the back side, and then do the other side. The reason you want to do it that way is because down here you have these little weird ways that if, like for example, if you came down this side, it would be one extended. And like right here, when the houses come down, they'll end perfectly right here, and then you put another one right here in this block, and then you'll have houses that come down to here. But if, let's for say, you delete this one and then extended this one, that means you'll have to move this house back. And so you'll have the house here, and then you'll have a house here, and you won't have enough room to put another one here. So it's important to do it like this, otherwise you'll lose one space, which really isn't that much of a bother, but, efficiency. You want an extra house. And then we're going to go ahead and put in our extra buildings. I like to put the ancestral shrine right here, and then I'll put the tax office back over here whenever I get the chance to put it there, which isn't now, unfortunately. And then an inspector's building. It's really important to understand that you can't put it here, because if you put it here, they'll walk out into this space and then walk here before they start going directions. You need to put it like here so that they will instantly walk onto the path. Otherwise, it'll be too short for them, and you'll run into problems. Eventually, you'll get half of your housing structure will just be demolished. So it's really important to do that. Watchtowers do not have that problem. You can put one there. Actually, I hear say that you don't need to put a watcher tower, but you can if you want to. I always do. Then we're gonna go ahead and watch this inspector. As you saw, he walked out there. Make sure he goes a full loop so you can see this work in action. Comes down. See? Oh, there's a fire in the city. He's gonna go over there and solve my problems. But you can see how that's he walked all the way around in a loop right there. And then we're gonna go ahead and put our other 4 buildings over here, which are health related. We got a well, herbologist, and the acupuncturist. And then we need the extra secondary religion. I like Taoism. Stick that right there. And then the rest of this is all housing except for the corners. I'm going to go ahead and do the corners. Normally I would wait to put the housing in, but I know where it's going to go. Corners, you put little, just nifty shrines, and well, these are pavilions. And you do that so that, just to maximize your niceness, I guess. And in truth, you can put an extra 2 right here on this corner. And then the rest of this is going to be filled up with houses. How wonderful. So you come in here, not too many houses. And this is a completed housing structure. You're gonna get around, everything's going to upgrade. I don't know about that one actually.